Global community. Get ready to be inspired by the people, stories, and opportunities in Africa. We're a global community of Africans and friends of Africa with no boundaries. Together, we celebrate the continent's successes and help provide solutions to some of its greatest challenges. Impact Africa airs live every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. GMT at listenvisionlive.com. You can also catch previous episodes on iTunes and on the show's website, impactafricaonline.com. Connect with Impact Africa on Twitter and Facebook at @UImpactAfrica. Together, we'll discover that the real Africa is full of amazing talents and great opportunities. Welcome to Impact Africa. Africa has long been associated with needing aid and handouts. Today, you'll learn so much more about this wonderful continent from enlightening stories, people, and ideas. Now, here is your host, Tope Fajingbesi.
Good morning, America, and good afternoon, Africa. Welcome to another episode of Impact Africa. We apologize for starting late, but I'm sure you probably know that we changed time zones today in America, so everything is all over the place. But we promised a very exciting show. I have two powerful women in the studio today, and I'm really, really super excited to host them. I would also be joined on the phone by two other amazing women, so get ready for a show, of a lifetime. Today we want to start with the news, and it's, there's been so much going on in Africa and about Africa, so there's absolutely a lot of good things to talk about. And we'll take a brief break, and we'll be right back with a video clip. Don't go away.
All righty. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the White House. I want to thank Sahila for the wonderful introduction. In case y'all did not hear properly,
you're right. We can say it again.
I'm just going to repeat this just so you understand.
All right, let's listen up.
Sahila got into Harvard at 15.
Yeah, she didn't mention that.
I don't know what y'all were doing at 15. Speaks 4 languages. The Arabic is like a major or a minor, but has 4 of them. Is studying neurobiology. Was listed among the world's 50 smartest teenagers. Now, Michelle,
It is. It's just like.
Let me just say, there are a lot of teenagers in the world.
Yeah.
So if you're like one of the 50 smartest ones,
Man.
that's pretty smart. And she's a wonderful young lady. I mean, she's like the State Department and the National Institute of Health all rolled into one. And we are so proud of your accomplishments and all that lies ahead for you, and you reflect our history. Young people like this inspire our future. And give a big round of applause to her mom, who is here.
Right there.
Mom's just filming the whole thing.
We see you. You're right there.
We can't even see her because she's got her iPad in front. Nothing like bragging about somebody's children. We are joined this evening by members of Congress, including Leader Nancy Pelosi, members of the Congress.
Welcome back to Impact Africa, and that is how we want to start the show today, with a very, very powerful and inspiring African, in fact, let me qualify that. I'm Nigerian, so I have to say Nigerian American child. She's 19. She's graduating from Harvard. And in fact, not just graduating from Harvard, she's actually, she actually got into Harvard at 15. Sahila Ibrahim, she's the Nigerian American, and she's studying neurobiology. And she was also accepted into 13 colleges, including MIT, University of Pennsylvania, and Princeton, Columbia. Name all the big schools you want to go. She was accepted, and she settled for Harvard. Go figure. And she's, her Nigerian parents did a good job, and this is, I'm hoping, a way for us to inspire ourselves, all of us who are raising kids in America today. Her Nigerian parents did a good job teaching her subjects that were not on the school curriculum, that the school didn't offer when she was in high school. She skipped 2 grades, and she introduced the president and the first lady during Black History Month at the White House last month, and the president had amazing things to say about her. I'm hoping that Sahila will join us on Impact Africa very soon. We're working on it. I'm hoping that very soon she'll be here to inspire you live from the studio. So, and now we'll go on to IJ Reads News. Again, if you haven't been following IJ Reads News on Facebook, you're living under a rock. IJ is now sending us news from India. She's moved from DC to India, having new adventures there. And she's got amazing news, of course, to share with us this week. One of the best news that I read on IJ Reads News this week was that Liberia has discharged their last Ebola patient. That is amazing, fantastic news. And if everything goes according to plan right now, by April 4th, the country will be declared Ebola free. This is just amazing because 5 months ago, even on this show, we were talking about Monrovia being littered with bodies, and there was just a lot of chaos. And, so many groups worked hard, the United States and, Africans in diaspora, Africans at home. They are the ones who did this. The people who were on ground, they refused to back down against this disease. And luckily for them, Liberia looks like, things are looking up. And we're hoping that Guinea and Sierra Leone would also, get to this point very soon, even though reports coming out of those countries say that the disease flared up again sometime last week. But, nothing is impossible. So we're cheering you on, and we're hoping that things get very well really soon. Another news from IJ Reads News is that the youngest African nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, Victor Ochen from Uganda, has been announced. I am super inspired by this guy. He's only 33 years old, and he's a lawyer and a human rights activist, and he's the first Ugandan to be nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. We're really very lucky to have you in the continent. Another fantastic news from Africa. Well, when I read this one, Esther Okade is a 10-year-old undergraduate in the UK. And when I read this news, they said, oh, Esther Okade is from West Midlands. I'm like, no, she's not from West Midlands, okay? She's from Nigeria. Because that name is a Nigerian name. And they said her mother's name, Efe. Efe, that's from Delta State. Are you kidding me? So, or Edo State. But I know, from my side, you know how we do it now. But Esther is the youngest and the smartest. She's doing math at the Open University in UK. And not only is she that super smart, she says she wants to be a millionaire. I'm telling you, this girl is going to be a billionaire. Her brother, Isaiah, is 6 years old, and he's already doing calculus algebra. Even at my age, I can't even do those things. But these kids are doing a good job. Kudos to their parents who are doing amazing work supporting these talented kids. From that news about Nigeria to another news about Nigeria, but this time around not too good. Nigeria, I don't know. This fight against Boko Haram is really, really driving me crazy. When I read this part on IJ Reads News about Chad, and this is Chad, a very small country compared to Nigeria, but that has experience fighting and defeating Al-Qaeda, actually offered to go into the Boko Haram strongholds in Nigeria and finish the job. Guess what? The Nigerian military refused. I cannot even understand the rationale behind that. And, some diplomats are saying that this is because election is this month in Nigeria, and the Nigerian government doesn't want to look weak by allowing a small country to come win the fight that they should have won a couple of years ago. But, don't ask me what is at play here, patriotism, ego, or manslaughter. But I'm hoping that people keep their eye really on the ball because people are suffering. And finally, we have another winner of the Mo Ibrahim Leadership Prize. If you know, that prize hasn't been won since 2011, since I think the president of Cape Verde won it. And, kudos to the Mo Ibrahim group, because they refuse to lower their standards. This prize is awarded to a democratically elected leader that has done well for their people in terms of poverty alleviation and good governance, and has relinquished power. In Africa, this is not something that we do very well. You know how we do now. We get there, we don't want to go. 10 years, 20 years, Robert Mugabe, hint, 91-year-old. He's been there since I was born, or even before I was born. But finally, we have a winner, and that's his Namibian President Pohamba. And, I'm very fascinated by this guy since I read that, he won this. For him to have won this prize, which has only been won by, I think, 5 other people, including President Nelson Mandela, who was awarded a honorary prize by the Mo Ibrahim group. I'm hoping that one day somebody from West Africa can, deserve this prize. Are you listening? I hope so. But that's good news. So I want to wrap up this segment by, talking about this amazing Ghanaian American woman. Again, when I read these stories, they say they refer to them as Americans, but I like to go look at their roots and find their Nigerian roots. But we'll be talking more about roots, very soon on this show today. And this lady, Mary Spio, she's Ghanaian American. She is the U.S. ambassador for innovation. She holds many patents, including several with Boeing. Boeing, the aviation giant. She was named on Grio's top 100 history makers list, along with Oprah Winfrey. This lady is just absolutely fantastic. And one of the good things about her that I really found very inspiring, apart from all these amazing patents that she holds, I couldn't even report them on the show because I didn't know how to pronounce most of them. But she didn't see a computer till she was 17. And now she is doing amazing stuff with the computer and outside of it. I hope this inspires all of us who are at home watching this, listening to me, to go ahead and pursue your dream and to be anything that you want to be. Thank you so much, IJ, for compiling this news, for sending this to us. If you want to read more inspiring news and be informed about everything going on in Africa, go to IJ Reads News on Facebook and you will be certainly informed. She keeps me informed. So we'll be right back with my wonderful co-host and the first amazing guest for today. Don't go away.
Law requires lesson status reports every semester. Maryland's always filed them on time.
Well, these lesson plans look pretty detailed.
They're downloaded off the internet from the New York Homeschool League.
So any parent can yank their kid out of school just by filing forms off a website?
Support
We're
for
lucky
Impact
we even
Africa
have any
comes
regulations
from
at all.
Our Financial Coach, ranked among America's 11 You are listening to Impact Africa. To connect with the program, please call 1-443-499-2755. That's 1-443-499-2755. You may also send an email to info@impactafricaonline.com or tweet @UImpactAfrica. Now, back to our show. You are listening to Impact Africa. To connect with the program, please call 1-443-499-2755. That's 1-443-499-2755. You may also send an email to info@impactafricaonline.com or tweet @UImpactAfrica. Now, back to our show.
Welcome back to Impact Africa, and like I promised you that I was going to be joined by two amazing women. You know Kumba already, my regular co-host and a very good friend of Impact Africa, and my own personal fashion icon. Okay, yeah. Did I ever tell you that Kumba used to be a model? But anyway, you can see that. And let me introduce Tambra. And Tambra Raye Stevenson is the creator of Nativsol Kitchen. She's on a mission to create and restore the heritage foods into our daily lives and to, just help us live better, okay? Point blank, period. She was named the 2014 National Geographic Traveler of the Year and 2014 Nutrition Hero by Food and Nutrition magazine. She was shortlisted by the Olusegun Obasanjo Foundation as a Young African Leaders Summit delegate in Ethiopia during the African Union Summit to speak on youth empowerment in Africa related to food security and agriculture. She comes from a family of healers and develops cultural and faith-based nutrition and wellness program. Welcome so much to Impact Africa.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's really a pleasant surprise to meet you. I'm just really happy because honestly, I got to know about you from a listener of the show.
Okay.
From North Carolina. I'm not even sure you know her. And she was like, you need to find out about this lady. You need to bring her on the show. And I started reading about her and I was like, oh my goodness. I wonder if she would agree to come. And I'm just really happy that you're here.
Thank you, of course.
and first of all, we're celebrating something, right now.
Yes, International Women's Day.
Yeah. We're celebrating, and both of these women look fabulous. I didn't get the memo that I needed to dress up especially for this International Women's Day, okay? But I'm just happy to be in the middle of this fantastic women. And also happy independence, 50th anniversary to the Gambia.
Yes.
This is fantastic.
It is fantastic.
This is fantastic.
I mean, 50 is a milestone.
It's
a big deal.
I think the Gambia is doing better than Nigeria when Nigeria was 50. So, I'm not going to say too much about that one. But, let's go to you. You are the traveling queen. How does it feel to have this life? You just came back from Dubai.
Well, I really do believe in the power of intention, but it really just came from this desire of wanting to get to Nigeria, which I haven't gotten to yet. I'm traveling everywhere but there.
Okay.
And so we really need to change that. I mean, Ebola kind of was a curveball last year because I was set, planned, that changed, and then now we have elections. I'm trying to let that die.
I know. Pick
and
a
set
day.
over
Fix
for
it. We're going to
exactly.
fix it June or October. Pick a day. You
right.
Come with me.
October is South Africa, so it would have to be during the summer. Then
June. Let's go.
It would need.
Hey,
to
let's
be.
go.
June.
Let's
We're
go.
going
Yeah,
in
we're going in
June.
June.
Yeah, and to the north. I mean, and that's been another interesting dynamic. It's almost kind of like being Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. I tell people that I'm trying to get to the land of Oz, but everyone is trying to say no. You need to take this.
The land of Oz.
you need to take the side road and just stay there and visit the Scarecrow, and you'll have a really good time. Like, but no, I'm destined to get to the north. I have to get to the north, and so I will not. My soul would not be at rest until I finally
and
come
you
back
will
home,
get
which is
you will get there.
The tagline of Nativsol.
Yeah, you will get there. And I'm sure Kumba has a question, but I want to ask you first of all, what is Nativsol?
Well, the vision came in 2006 after doing Hurricane Katrina relief work and seeing just the role of what happens when you make a difference in your community. And so for me, I was working in the federal government at the time, and I was wrestling with my direction. I achieved a lot of things that my parents hadn't already, and so for me it's kind of like, what was the next step? And I just looked within and realized that I'm the change that my community needs. And so from there, I think it was really God just put me on this path of what that meant, and that meant taking my biological father away from me, where we were sharing the past time of researching our family history together. So it was his death that became a catalyst of my wanting to finish what we started, honor his spirit, find out where are we from, and then also we shared the love of cooking. So every time the idea of food, it really is in reverence of him, and wanting people to have those experiences. And about meal is no longer a meal, but it's an opportunity to bring family together.
Wow.
I'm actually hearing you speak. I have chills because I can see you're crying.
Yeah.
And this is what we have going for us, African people. We know our roots. We know where we come from. I mean, we know our forefathers and all that. And there's some people that are still trying to find themselves.
Yeah.
And here we are, we've already found ourselves.
I'm taking it for granted.
And we've taken it for granted.
Right. Yeah.
And it doesn't mean anything to us.
Yeah.
And especially for us Africans that are now living here in America. We need to really embrace ourselves.
And that's why I do what I do, because of that. And in the beginning, when you have a notion of what Spirit tells you in those quiet hours of what you are to do, and you hear potential like either self-inflicted criticisms or questioning from other people, and you forge and you move and you go from step A to step B along this journey to authenticity and freedom, and then you get those confirmations that I'm on the right track. And that has helped me tremendously. So yes, I've met other Nigerians who either like want to fully become American, and they pass off their traditions, either not picking up the Yoruba or Igbo or whatever, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, I want what you have. Why would you do that? But of course, I'm not trying to judge or criticize, but I think it's so vitally important that people think about a legacy building mindset. And a legacy building mindset is preserve your culture, preserve your tradition, pass those rich history, that rich proverbs that only come from the lineage that you can honor, and that it really builds the foundation of identity and purpose. And you can't get that from a classroom in the U.S. You can't get that from a college class or anything for that matter. You can only get that from within. And yoga taught me that principle. Everything that I need is already within. Yes. Wow. And I went within.
You talk amazing. About. I'm telling you. I honestly, I was going somewhere as you were talking.
This is direction totally.
I'm telling you. I'm sure you've heard this before, that you speak very powerfully. And when I was reading your bio, I saw that you are an award-winning communicator, and I hear that because I'm just sitting now thinking, and then you actually almost convinced me to go back to yoga right now.
Well, all yoga is not created equal. It truly is a spiritual practice. You have Americans who teach it, who it looks very much like a physical exercise, because true yoga is about an exercise of the soul. And so for those who wrestle with, well, it's not Christian based or whatever, they remove that spiritual essence from the practice. And when you do that, you remove the whole essence of yoga. And it's really important to understand that it's a spiritual reflection of physical work that you're doing, and it's so what we don't have in the church.
I'm just scared of, I saw the yoga instructor. You saw when I read this on Facebook, she lifted up her leg. I said, I don't know about this. This is like
no, and it's not about that. The stretching of the leg like that is really a stretching of your mind. And if you're not able to make those connections, then you defeat the purpose of what the practice is about.
Wow.
The mind goes where the body follows, and so they operate
it's all about
bidirectionally.
Can you hear the hints she's dropping? The mind goes where the body.
Yes. This is really fantastic, because this is what we're trying to get people to be in tune with their inner self. Because if you're really comfortable with your inner self, with who you are,
exactly,
it's sort of like set the stage for everything.
It's like a rock, and you cannot be moved.
And we were talking about our children, and I think we had a conversation, and it all stems back from, you as the parent and the household, how the spirituality that you have with your inner self,
right,
and how you feel about yourself, and that is what actually oozes out, and then almost like pixie dust, just sprinkle.
It's true
wherever you go,
and
whoever you get contact with.
I cannot reinforce how important that is, and because today is International Women's Day, when so many times women around the world, even here in this own country, have been marginalized in terms of their voices and their purpose, and what bigger role do you have to play? This is why I went back and use the simple concept of a kitchen with Nativsol, because I grew up thinking, not because of my mom, but naturally as a feminist, that I didn't want to be associated with anything that reflected womanhood. And so to me, those are natural things that you were to know. So I was in sports, I was in the sciences, research labs,
trying to break away
all those stereotypes, but only until either, I think, having children, that I realized that is where the power is. And that is part of the Jedi mind trick, is to remove you from the source of power. And the kitchen became that place after him passing, of realizing that is where the healing begins, that's where the memory begins, that's where life begins in the kitchen. When you start retransforming your mind, you transform the kitchen, and we can create new kitchen traditions in a way that we've never had before. And so when I teach classes like Taste of African Heritage or Food for the Soul, which are faith-based nutrition programs, I have people write kitchen commandments. I have them start out writing letters to their ancestors about how does your kitchen honor them. And it's a different way that I do cooking. Is really not a cooking class. It's really more like it's more a community empowerment class. It is.
You're one of those, people that when you cook, you're like, put the salt, put the pepper.
It's all about vibrational.
Vibration.
All about.
When
vibration.
is your next class? Because I'm coming.
And that's been the first class actually was at the mosque here in DC. But my thing has been, because I've been doing so much traveling, I've not been able to just set out 6 weeks where I'm just blocked off in DC. But that's one of the things that I know has to change, either have them online or a few times shorten it, compact or whatever, because I've been getting these requests to do them.
I think you have to do this, because I've thought about cooking as a chore.
Right. That's part of the change in the mindset.
And I'm learning from you right now. Oh goodness! She does love to cook. I'm telling you.
And the love is the ingredient that only to me. The really secret part about all of this, and it's just like how we learned about food being, is the way to get to the man's heart or whatever. I think there's some truth to that when you think about your children. I think about as I'm planting the seed, love is associated with cooking. And so if you can't find someone who can't cook, then they can't give you love. And it's a survival skill. If you can't cook for yourself, you can't love yourself. That means you go out for love all the time, every time you buy food. And that's something disempowering about that. And as a woman, you being a source of life and the first food to a baby, for you not to see that for yourself, that you have the power to extend that in the kitchen, why would you take that power away? Why would you give it up?
Oh my God. I'm telling you, this is like you're preaching right now. We're in the church right now. And I'm telling you, but seriously, I'm getting a new orientation. I don't like to eat out, so I cook. But for me, when I'm cooking, I'm like, I have to block out this time. This is time I should have been writing. This is time I should have been doing stuff. But you're making me see it in a different light entirely. It is
differently. You can invite friends over and break up the process. I mean, that's part of when I teach the class. It almost is like a team building exercise. And it goes back to the heart of African Heritage Diet, which is the community is the medicine. I would hear stories of the past.
Is the medicine.
I would hear stories of the past of women. They never cooked by themselves because there was very little food in the villages, that they would come together and everyone would share something to contribute to the pot, contribute to the meal, and they would cook together and eat together. And I think it's even in those dynamics that can help to break up what would be a labor-intensive process to be a love-intensive process.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, for me, I always believe in getting together. I always believe in feeding people and the joy. Because when you feel joy in your heart, I mean, you want to share it.
Exactly.
And what is best way to share it than invite people with food?
And immediate gratification that you get. And I couldn't get that from the government job.
Yes. So definitely, we need to find time to get together again to really be in touch with ourselves and through cooking and through using a lot of spices and spicing of a lot of things in our lives.
I definitely agree. Honestly, I'm very inspired by this, and I'm hoping that you get a class together very soon, a program, very soon. But I want to ask you something, and because anybody who is listening to you or who's watching you right now is thinking, oh my God, yeah, she's probably young, she has no family, so she can travel around the whole place and be National Geographic, Traveler of the Year. She can cook and do all this taste in Dubai. But you do have a family and you have kids, and you are able to juggle this. And this is being International Women's Day. This is a struggle, a real struggle for many women. How do you do that?
Number one, only because of God's spirit, universal energy, could any of this be possible. And I learned that from other women before me, that it's like, why do they seem so spiritual? Well, you have to be once you have children, because it's a higher force that allows doors to open when you don't see those doors. And that meant having extended family, play grandmas, play grandpas, like all of that. Like, you just honor people and say, you now have a new title, and I need you to own that. Before, I would have an issue of asking people, and I probably asked people to the point where they're like, I'm just tired of hearing from her. But you know what? I've learned they can't say no until you ask a question. And when it's something of the village raising the children together, we understand that, just like we should understand the village should be coming together to cook, that I need the village to come for me. If you believe in my purpose, then you believe that these children need to be supported as well.
Wow. Honestly, Tambra, you are inspiring. And
I love this lady.
Yeah, I'm telling you are inspiring. And I'm hoping as we grow this show, we don't lose people like you, that we continue to be a family and continue to do bigger and better things to inspire Africans and to connect us back to our root. But before we let you go, I want to ask you, you traced your roots to Niger and Nigeria. Yes. How did you do that? And how does that feel?
So I did it back, maybe 2010, and it was using a DNA testing company based here in DC called African Ancestry, and it was swab in the mouth, and then you send it 4 to 6 weeks back. You get your information, and for me, because of the 1885 Berlin Conference breaking up Africa, it was important not to know the country, but also I know it's archaic, but tribe, the Fulanis, because they expand across 13 nations, and to know that
I told you she was Fulani.
And to know the Pula way of life, and to understand, why my demeanor may appear this way, why am I attracted to certain experiences or accessories and all these things, like it made complete sense. And once knowing that, it was just, I knew that I needed to get back. Part of the narrative in America has been mainly from a male perspective. And the power of a woman, especially a woman of Fulani, to be able to share that when so many times they can be lost in the darkness of life, is even more powerful. So it has become really a mission of mine to be able to share the female narrative of this journey to America, but not only that, to really give a positive spin about that it's okay to, number one, embrace my heritage, make the connection, and heal the reconciliation between those on the continent and here, when so many times I've come to learn spirit is all about connecting people. The enemy is all about separating people. And meals have become my choice, my tool to heal people and have them come together. So there was intention and thought behind why the simple act of a meal can be an opportunity to build peace.
Wow. This is fantastic.
She's definitely a healer, because just sitting here talking to you, I can feel your energy and your spirit and your presence. I just want to congratulate you and encourage you, and I know you don't need encouragement, because I can feel the passion.
Unreal.
I can see it in your eyes, and this is what we need as women: passion, and just believe in something, that to pursue it, to do it, and have it, feel it in every fiber of your being. So for all women out there, life is all about passion. It's all about how seeing the world through your own eyes.
Yeah.
And not through another person's eyes.
Exactly.
Through your eyes and what you want to bring to the world. And what you bring to the world is beautiful. I'm sitting here, I can feel your energy, and it's such a beautiful energy.
Unreal,
And,
unreal. And I just, as you both are sitting down here with me, I'm looking at two fantastic women, and I don't say this because you're here. I am just thinking this is why there's Impact Africa.
Yeah.
This is the connection that this show is trying to make, and I'm just inspired just by today to make sure that this bridge that we're trying to build between here and Africa continues to remain strong. And I'm hoping that you'll be a part of that journey with us.
Yes.
So thank you so
course.
much. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm really, really inspired, especially since you just came back from Dubai and your time zone is all over the place. So thank you very much. We'll be right back. Don't go away, with a very fantastic idea being pushed by two amazing women. You'll be really inspired to impact Africa. Don't go away.
You are listening to Impact Africa. To connect with the program, please call 1-443-499-2755. That's 1-443-499-2755. You may also send an email to info@impactafricaonline.com or tweet @UImpactAfrica. Now, back to our show.
Welcome back to Impact Africa, and like I promised, I said I have a fantastic idea that you're about to be introduced to, and Kumba and Tambra have been very gracious. They're going to also join this conversation and also engage with my guest. But let me introduce them. So every time you hear Black women, not just us who are from Africa, from the continent, complaining about how mainstream beauty products just don't work, with our skin. They don't make things for us. It doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. We complain and complain. But our guests who we have on the line today stopped complaining. Instead, they did something really bold to fix the issue. And before I tell you about their bold solution, I want to first of all introduce this woman to you. Because, one of them, Chinelo, I know her. We went to college together in Nigeria. And, so Chinelo attended University of Lagos. and University of Maryland, where she got her MBA, and she worked for S&P, Standard & Poor's, and was recently a vice president at the Royal Bank of Scotland, where she managed a team of credit analysts. Okay, so now you're as intimidated as I am, right? Okay, that's Chinelo Chidozie. Let me introduce Ndidi Obidoa. Ndidi attended the State University of New York at Stony Brook, and she went to MIT, okay? Then she worked at the Bureau of Economics as an economist and the Boston Consulting Group. And most recently, she worked at Baxter Healthcare Corporation, where she managed marketing analytics for the hemophilia franchise. I cannot even tell you I know what that means. But you get the idea. These are two strong women. Honestly, I didn't plan this, that today we're celebrating International Women's Day and I'll be surrounded by strong women. But I just, I guess God just has a way of ordaining this. And these two women, as lucrative and as wonderful as their careers were, they decided to quit those 9-to-5 gigs and start something bold. And, I don't know, I'll let them say how the Bolden USA name came about, but I think this is actually very bold. So Chinelo and Ndidi, welcome to Impact Africa.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And, I want to first of all start, how did the name Bolden USA come? Was that because you were going to do something really bold, quitting your, fantastic jobs to do something like this?
Well, actually, that would be a good premise.
Okay, I'll let Chinelo take that question.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the thing is, our name comes from the word embolden. And really, it is a celebration of women in their natural beauty.
Fantastic.
Nice. I like that.
Wow.
So that's where we're going with.
Wow. And honestly, I'm not sure if you've been watching the show before now, but you can probably see I have two bold and beautiful women, on the show with me today. And I'm going to let Tambra, ask Ndidi a question about, what do you think about,
Well, I think given the most recent news story about the skin lightening queen out of Cameroon, I think this makes it even more important and relevant as we think about empowering women on International Women's Day, and part of, going back to our heritage is our natural beauty. And so I didn't know, part of your own journey, if you can share of what personal stories have you had that you wish to share to the audience of why this work means so much to you. So
we really would like to continue to reiterate that our black skin tone is beautiful and that we do not need likeness to change the tone of our skin. So all we need to, we really want to help, we really want women to understand that the problems that we face with our skin is more to do with how we take care of it. And if we embrace the right products and the daily, cleansing and moisturizing processes that we need to maintain a beautiful skin tone, then there will be no need for skin lightness.
Wow. And
it's almost like, you get a pimple and you think you have a black spot and you think that the best way to combat it is by lightening it. And then you continue doing that, and next thing you become a slave to these products. As opposed to understanding, okay, this is how to cleanse, these are the products to use to cleanse my skin, and, this is what I need to do to maintain my beautiful skin tone. And that's what Bolden, that's our mission. We really want to embolden women to celebrate their natural beauty.
And, and I think you are doing just that. Before I let the beautiful Kumba, ask you a question, because this is her area of expertise, really, this is our area. But before I ask that, I want to say to you, Chinelo, and I want you to speak to this. How do you go from having a job, a nice, lucrative job as vice president in a very big bank, to saying, you know what, I'm just going to do my own thing? And let me just say to my non-Nigerian audience, Chinelo and Ndidi, they are Igbo. Igbo people are very enterprising. This is the Igbo people they are born to sell something. So I know this is natural, but when you're in America and you have bills to pay, the Igbo self can go down a little bit. How did you wrestle this?
Yeah, it's never easy, especially when you have a comfortable job and a lifestyle. But it boils down to following your passion. You only get one life to live, and you have to make it count.
Wow.
So we just thought we had planned long enough. We just had to start doing.
Wow.
So that's what we're doing.
Wow. And you, honestly, I see so much boldness in what you're doing, and I'll let Miss Kumba talk to Ndidi for a second.
I think this is a really fantastic show today because we got to talk about the inner spirituality.
Yes.
We got to talk about the depth of our souls.
Yes.
And now we talk about the outer beauty.
Yes.
And we have to know that in order to talk about the outer beauty, we have to take care of the inside first. And that's what we did.
Yes.
So this is a $1 trillion industry. There are so many products out there.
Yes.
And most of these actually mainstream beauty companies are also going natural. They're using a lot of oils. So my question to you is, where does Bolden stand in terms of with all these million of products out there? And just talk to us about that and what differentiates you from the rest of the industry.
So that is a great question. So we as you know, we originally launched a shea line of products, and so I'll say the first thing about us is originality. So we source our oil direct from women's associations in Burkina Faso in northern Ghana.
Wow, nice.
That have been working for years to develop really organic shea butter.
Nice.
So we've always wanted to give back. So we're very particular with the ingredients that we use and where they're sourced from. And so this was and then another thing, our ingredients only have our shea oil only has one ingredient. And a lot of the products in the market tend to say that they're 100% natural, but then when you look at the list, you see a whole bunch of other ingredients that are really not, they're not natural and they're not great for your skin.
Yeah.
So we also are authentic in that regard. Whatever we say is what we represent.
Wow.
And then we're focused on solving specific issues. So if you look at the markets served, which are niche markets in the U.S. and in West Africa, Africa as a whole, we really try to think of the problems that people experience and how best to solve them. So if you think of shea oil, a lot of women use shea butter, but they do not really like smell or the heaviness. So the shea oil is an answer to that. Easy to apply, and it retains all the goodness of shea butter, and then it actually removes all the wax and makes it really heavy. So it's an easy to apply oil and still solving all the problems. And then we also have a facial line that we're developing specifically to treat, problem skin, and for a lot of people that use products that are harsh for their skin or that are lightness, the intention is to resolve that with a 4-step facial process.
Nice.
Facial treatment, facial care process. So I would say that it is a huge industry, and especially in Africa, it's really fragmented. It's a dumping ground for a lot of imported products.
Dumping ground.
But our message is clear. If you want to treat your skin really well and use great products for your skin and products that enhance the beauty of the skin and not try to change it, then Bolden is the right brand to think of.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if I could add to that a little bit.
Yeah.
You asked what differentiates us. It's really that we're serving a market that's been neglected for so long. You mentioned it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. But how many of those companies out there really target this specific demographic? It's really a dumping ground for products. A lot of the products that they make specifically for that market is the bleaching creams. So what message is that serving? Sending. So that's really fundamentally why we're different. Wow. So if we're developing products, we have you in mind. It meets you in the point of your need, your hair texture, how it's applied, your everyday life.
Yeah.
So right now you matter.
Yeah. And that is, I think that's the message that we've been trying to get to women today. Exactly. With the food that you are eating, with the way you're getting the food, with where you're getting love, with where you're getting what you're applying on your skin, do you matter?
Do you matter?
Do you matter? Are you important to the person who is selling this? And I'm very glad that we're talking about people who are providing services and products that tell us that we really matter as African women, as women in general. When I look at your products, I'm thinking, oh, finally something for my hair, because my hair is natural and it can be. I'm not going to say anything.
And oils, I've actually, I'm really excited. Actually, I ordered your products. I'm waiting for it to arrive.
Yay!
I went online because I am such a oil freak. Anything that has, oils, I use the argan oil, the coconut oil. So I'm hoping that, your product line will also expand to all those different yummy and now I do everything 100% organic, from the food I eat to everything in my hair. So I went 100% organic now.
Wow.
So I'm really excited about your products, and
that's
and
fantastic.
oils are so good for your skin.
Thank you.
I mean it's just fantastic. I am telling you, all of you need to get oils for your skin. It is really, whether you even whether you're only looking to just make your skin soft, or you're trying to just even out your skin. I mean, there's a lot of natural ingredients in these oils that actually do the same thing if you have discoloration and all that stuff. So it's good.
Wow, so now Kumba has bought it, and if she has bought it, I'm telling you, your product is in Gambia and Senegal, so you're made. You guys, this is it. But for those who want to buy it, get us your website. Where should they go, and how can they connect with you?
So our website is www.boldenusa.com. So just think of the word bold, bolden.com.
And do you do wholesale?
And then,
do you do wholesale?
Yes, we do. So,
okay.
Anybody who is interested can contact us through our website.
Okay, fantastic.
And also, we recently started on Amazon.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're also on Amazon.
Fantastic. So Bolden USA or on Amazon. That's that's fantastic. But this is great. I also want to tell you that, so Chinelo, I told you we went to school together, right? And her cousin is my guy, so I can be her agent. I'm Nigerian. You know how this thing works. So if you, I know
yes, we did have many agents on this thing.
People will be texting me after the show. How can I get in touch with them? But boldenusa.com, on a serious note, and I think this is great for us. This is fantastic for all women out there. Kumba has talked about the power of oils. I think you should experience it with this product. And before I let you go, you know how this thing is. We were supposed to do your segment last week. You're laughing because you know what's coming next. We're supposed to do your segment last week, but because of the weather, we couldn't do it. So this week, you're going to be our contestants on the Africa 101. And I think Tambra is going to like this, because the African icon of this week is actually from Northern Nigeria, or was from Northern Nigeria. So it will be fantastic to see how many answers you might know. So I'm going to start, and you have 5 minutes to answer these questions, and I'm going to start from Ndidi.
Okay.
And so it's multiple choice. So I'm sure you ladies are like smart, so you know these answers already. So Ndidi, Tafawa Balewa was knighted by an English monarch. True or false?
True.
True. That's correct.
Yes.
Chinelo, your salary is on the line. Let's see about this one.
Wait, can I phone a friend?
No, you can't. No, you can't. Which monarch actually knighted Tafawa Balewa? A. Queen Elizabeth. B. Queen Victoria. C. King George. D. King Edward.
Queen Elizabeth.
Correct. Wow, this lady, I told you they're smart. I told you they're smart. Okay, Ndidi, back to you. Tafawa Balewa's father was a district head in A. Enugu, B. Accra, C. Bauchi, D. Lagos.
Bauchi.
Wow. Are you sure you guys don't have this exposure? Okay. Well,
can that be the last question so we can quit while we're ahead?
No. We have 10 questions, so you're going on.
Okay.
Tafawa Balewa went to Katsina College. True or false?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yes,
True.
Teachers College, right? Yes.
Yes, he did. Okay, now let's go back to you, Ndidi. Which political party did Tafawa Balewa start? A. The Northern People's Congress. B.
Yes, that's it.
Oh wow. Yeah, you're not playing. Please note that these ladies haven't missed anything at all. See, okay. Who did he start?
Yeah, we paid attention to start his class.
I don't agree. I think this is Wikipedia working here. But whatever it is, I'm very impressed. So, okay, next question. Who did he start the Northern People's Congress with? A. Aliyu Baba. B. Muhammadu Buhari. C. Obafemi Awolowo. D. Ahmadu Bello. Ahmadu Bello, correct. Wow, we're almost there. You're doing good, ladies. Tafawa Balewa was the first president of Nigeria. True or false?
That's false.
Wow, I thought this is where you were going to miss it. You're right.
He was prime minister, no?
He was prime minister. Yes, he was prime minister. Yeah. I am, you know what? Hats off to you ladies. I'm super impressed. Because even I thought this was true. I was like, oh yeah, what was he? But he was actually the first prime minister when Nigeria was on that system of government. Fantastic.
Yeah, the first and only.
Yeah. Fantastic. Wow. Okay. What did Tafawa Balewa do before entering politics? A, he didn't do anything else. He was always a politician. B, he was a teacher. C, he was an imam. D, he was a farmer.
Teacher.
He was a teacher, correct.
Yeah.
Wow. In what country did Tafawa Balewa study? A, Germany. B, Japan. C, England. D, France.
C, England.
Wow. Oh my goodness. I think we should miss anything. We need to give these ladies a round of applause. This is fantastic. Okay, two more questions. Two more questions, and you ladies will be the champions, ever. What year was Tafawa Balewa elected to the Northern House of Assembly? A, 1955, B, 1946, C, 1932, D, 1960.
1960.
No, I would say 1940.
One more chance.
All right, I'll let Ndidi take this.
I would say it was before he became prime minister, so I would say 46.
1946 is correct. 1946 is correct.
Okay.
And the
got it, Ndidi.
And the final question: how did Tafawa Balewa die? A, he died of lung cancer. B, he died in a plane crash. C, he died in a coup. D, none of the above.
C, he died in a coup, unfortunately.
He died in a coup. Yes. You ladies, please, round of applause for this ladies. Round of applause. And, I want to thank you so much for participating. I noticed that when I sent the email about the Africa 101, you didn't respond again. I was like, these ladies are doing this quiz, whether they like it or not. But you did great, and we're very proud of what you're doing with Bolden USA. We're very we're very inspired by you and this strong women in the studio, and I'm hoping that those who are watching today, you want to take care of your skin, you want to take care of your body, you want to look good, you don't need to bleach your skin. Just go to Bolden USA or go to Amazon and get something right, okay? And your hair is all poof like her daughter said. It's all poof like mine. Go to Bolden USA and get something for yourself. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming on the show.
Thank you, Tope, for having us.
Thank you. Have a
Thank
fantastic
you so much
day.
for having us. We just want to say on the final day, Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.
To all the women on the panel. I think it's so apropos that we're speaking today.
Yes.
We would like to acknowledge the women who work in the cooperatives that they take and make the shea butter from which our oils are made from. It's hard work, and that's why we insist on purchasing only fair trade.
Fantastic. And I am so proud of you ladies. So proud. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
I want to, honestly thank Ndidi, Chinelo, Tambra, Kumba for, an amazing morning that I've had. But I'm not going to end this show without paying tribute to an amazing woman who turns 40 today. And, I'm hoping that her picture can come up on the screen so you'll see this beautiful lady. This is my best friend and my sister, Ngozi Adebi. She turns 40 today. She's right now in South Africa having a fantastic time. And this is one of the early supporters of this show. One of the first few grants that I got to start this show came from her personally. So I want to thank Ngozi for being such an inspiring woman in Africa. She's a human resource expert in Nigeria. She used to be here, and she's one of those people who decided to go back home to the continent of Africa to develop the continent. Happy 40th birthday to you, or happy 21st birthday the 19th time, because you don't even look 40 at all. And thank you so much for supporting Impact Africa. To all the women out there today, happy International Women's Day. And, keep doing what you're doing to make this world a better place. We are all, nobody can tell us that they didn't come from a woman. Everybody came from a woman. Yeah. So we are the reason why there is this life continuing. And, like Tambra said earlier on, we give life and we continue to sustain that life through our kitchens. I'm hoping that the fantastic women who have been on the show today have inspired you to change something, to do something with your Africanness. This whole being African is a strength. Let's stop making it a weakness, through our kitchen, through our skin, through our work, through the kind of, services that we provide and how we just show up in the society. I'm hoping that, until next week, you will keep impacting Africa. Thank you so much, ladies, and thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Tuning in to Impact Africa. Please join us again next Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. GMT at listenvisionlive.com. Have a good week and keep impacting Africa.
Good evening.